One of a Kind with Rob Van Dam is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Again, like boom, boom, boom. This is a really good quick punch, but it looks like crap. It looks weak, and every once in a while, somebody would say something to me, like, dude, you need to work on your punches, and I'm a great puncher. I knock people out. I also had an issue, and I've talked about this. I don't know how in depth I've talked about it here, but I got a really quick punch, from kickboxing that Kit taught me. Mm-hmm. Your jab move is going to be quicker. It's in front of you. Your power is behind you. That's your base. You start with a quick bam, jab, whatever, and you step through, your body like rotates into the power. I think people understand that basically, but in order to throw that jab effectively, you want to hit it. You don't want to, people to. So I always learned to not only to throw it really quick, but all kinds of ways to disguising it. Like if you think about it, even if my arm is completely fucking up and down, and then I'm trying to get it fucking, but okay, if the only movement you can see is this shrinking, because it's getting smaller as my fist is coming to you, you're not going to be able to see that as much as seeing, like something, if you can see more movement, it's just a line that's just getting smaller, except for bam, 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 you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. Anyway, you hide your punches, you disguise them, you don't want your opponent to see them. I had the shittiest punch, my first, holy crap, I don't know, 12, 13 years in the business. And when I look back at it, I can see it. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, when I'm doing it, I'm thinking like, boom, boom, boom. This is a really good quick punch, but it looks like crap. It looks weak. And every once in a while, somebody would say something to me, like, dude, you need to work on your punches. And I'm a great puncher, I knock people out. I didn't understand, and I didn't know why anyone cared, because when I look at, okay, let's name them. Let's say like The Rock. I hate The Rock punches. He uses like this and like does like a rolling thing on your forehead. Anyway, you know what I mean? The whole fucking, and a lot of people like grab the guy and then they fucking like punch like their own hand, and they have to hold the guy's chin for every punch. And basically, there's so many guys that are so over that throw shitty punches. That's why I didn't get it. Like, why is not everyone, but why are these certain people every once in a while so hyper focused on my punch when I'm fucking kicking ass, all around, and these guys that are making top fucking money throw the shittiest punches I've ever seen? Like, what is it that makes them fucking care so much about the punch I'm throwing? And one time, Blackjack Lanza, so this is in WWE, like probably 2002-ish, maybe one. Blackjack Lanza, he said, you know what? Because I'm gonna show you how to. I'm gonna take you over here. I'm gonna show you teach you how to throw a punch the right way. I was like, all right. And we walked out into this. It was like a lobby area where the fans weren't, just where a couple of the backstage hallways intersected, and there was a little bit of room there. And Judge Dredd was there, who was another one of Sabu and Sheik's students from Adrian, Michigan. What up, Judge Dredd? Yeah, big 320-pound motherfucker, and Jack, started like, punching at me, but also at Judge Dredd, and saying, here, boom, he's gonna see what I did. Now you do it, and Judge Dredd standing there visiting, and then basically became like a punching dummy. But he poured this shit into my head, changed my punch, and ever since then, like, when I see it, I throw the best damn punches. No one ever seems to say shit about it, but they don't say shit about any of my thing anymore. So that's what it was. I was so good in those people's eyes that I had that little thing that just didn't go with everything. It stood out because it was so weak, and the rest of everything was so right on. So that's the way I took it. Once I learned that, I love my punches. I love Sabu's punches, and anytime that I watch, and there's been like one or two exceptions, like when I gave Rhino like an uppercut in the ribs, where I watched it, I'm like, oh, it doesn't look as good because in an uppercut or in a hook, you're using your shoulder a lot, and that it isn't as much action. For wrestling, you need a lot of action. You might even need to start way back here, like in the movies. I got taught reach back like you're grabbing a bottle of beer. You're a bartender and you're reaching back. Grab a bottle of beer. Bam! When you punch him, and that was like an exercise that we had to do. We punched towels, all this shit with the Action Movie Making Weekend Seminar. Thank you, Keith Vitale. Thank you, Steven Spielberg, and Joe Hess, and Michael DePasquale. I learned a lot then, and that helped me with wrestling. And then when Blackjack Lanza, took the time and said, hey, by the time you walk out of this little meeting here, you're going to be, how to punch. Like what they taught me was able to come into play and make sense in the wrestling world. And ever since then, like the fact that people don't compliment the punch, my ego could say, do they not realize like I got the best, because I punch them basically, but anyway, the fact that they don't say anything is like, well, that's good too, because it definitely used to be a hole in the fucking Titanic, and now that we got it passed, I'm just a big fucking ship.
That's funny you say that though, Rob, because seriously, so I was a featured background in Creed, the one of the Rocky movies, and it was in Westchester in a soundstage studio. And like I was literally like 6 feet away from Stallone for like 6 days, and I was like a ringside photographer. But so Michael B. Jordan, who was Creed, Adonis Creed, was in the ring with the other boxer, Tony, but he was a British guy and he was a legit real boxer. And they would literally fight around, is what they would do to do the filming aspect of it all. And like I remember Stallone being like, hold on a second. He stops everything. He goes in there and he's showing them how to punch for the camera. And like you could definitely see such a difference of how Stallone's doing it in comparison to how Michael B. Jordan or Tony, I wish I knew his last name, but and how he was doing it. And it like really made such a difference. You could be like, okay, yeah, Stallone definitely knows how to work the camera with that kind of stuff. And
was it Tony the Tiger, Tony Jaa, or
no, not Tony Jaa,
Tony Gurria?
British dude. Yeah, he was a tough dude. Oh man, that's gonna kill me if I can't figure it. I'll have to look it up. But
yeah, totally. Yeah, total different agendas, and it's funny because in the art of fighting, the surprise is the strongest element you can have.
Yeah.
And with making it entertaining, there's some telegraphing involved because you want to make sure everybody sees it. It looks more powerful, like it's got more behind it. And overall, it's just more visually pleasing.
Well, Rob, you definitely made me refine how I jab now a little bit more. I'm going to keep that focus in my mind.
Does that make sense to you?
That makes funny. Absolutely, it does. Like quicker, and plus it's less of a visual. Like it's less telegraphed. Hiding them punches. That's interesting. Oh, that's great. I'm gonna try that tomorrow.
I already told you to relax because you said you wanted to hit the bag harder and you were tightening up and keeping yourself
tightening up. And that helped a lot too. Like kind of focus and loosen up. And then I'm trying to be more mindful of like
faster. You want to hit it faster, maybe harder and faster, probably. But I know you want to do it faster. And I was saying you were slowing yourself down by being tensed up, right?
Right, absolutely. And still my jab is really slow, like still, and I would like to kind of speed that up a little.
We got to help you.
Yeah, that'll definitely help me, I think. So thank you.
Audience.